What's good, YouTube? This is DBZ439 coming at you with a combo tutorial and test hands video for my Odd Eyes Guardragon deck. Recently I took this deck to my locals and I went 4-0. Round 1 I played Cyber Dragons. Round 2 I played Thunder Dragons. Round 3 I played Ultrageist, and round 4 I played Striker Draco. So I went 4-0. I was going to post a deck profile for this deck, but it's really similar to my October 2019 deck profile. You can go check that deck profile in the description box below. I'll put a link in there. The only difference between this build and the build I'll send the link to you for is in the main deck I took out Odd Eyes Lancer Dragon for Galactic Spiral Dragon, which is a new card that came out in Chaos Impact. And in the extra deck I took out Norito, the Moral Leader, for Titanic Galaxy, which is the generic rank 8. And so instead of doing a deck profile, I'll just refer you to that other video. And today we'll just do a combo tutorial and test hands video. I haven't done this in a while. I know some of my subscribers were suggesting me to do this for Dynamist. Unfortunately, I do not have that deck anymore. The decks I do have on me are Mathmech, Odd Eyes, Titan Turbo Thunder Dragon, and Magical Musketeers. So if you want any deck profiles or test hands for those decks, just let me know in the comment section below, and I'll try my best to get those videos out there. But today we have my first place Odd Eyes Guardragon combo tutorial / test hands. So without any further ado, let's get on with some test hands. So I'm going to shuffle the deck. I'm going to draw 5 cards. I really want to show you how Rescue Rabbit works in this deck. I'm a really big advocate of Rescue Rabbit. And I'll also show you, if I can, how I play around Nibiru without the Endymion engine. So let's see what we got here. I'm going to draw 5. This is a okay hand, and we can play around Nibiru with this hand, and I'll definitely show you how we do that. And we don't use Jackal like the Endymion engine. So let's start off with Dragon Shrine. We're going to Dragon Shrine. Going to send the Dark Worm and add the... And we're obviously assuming no hand traps except for Nibiru. If they have Nibiru and permanence, then we're kind of screwed, but then any Pendulum deck would be. So, but we're just going to play under that assumption. So we're going to Dragon Shrine, send the Dark Worm effect, special from itself, and then add this to hand. And then we're going to activate Spiral Flame Strike to add our high scale, which is very important. So we're going to add high scale. So this is what our hand looks like right now. We're going to proceed to normal summon the Vector. We're going to go ahead and do our Link Summon. I'm going to Link Summon into Electromite. Electromite effect to send. This is kind of tricky because we already have our Jackal King. And we could send a... send another Dark Worm. Loading up on level 4s is never a bad idea, because we already do have a low skill, which is really nice. Okay, so that's enough shuffling. I'm going to go ahead and activate these two. Going to use Electron Effect, attempting to pop the Phantom Dragon to add Dark Worm to hand. So this pops, this adds to hand. Then we have Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, Chain Link 2 special from deck. You always want to special the Dissolver from deck, and this is how we're going to play around Nibiru. We're going to activate that. We're going to special that, and then we're going to draw a card. This card is kind of important. Maybe not be that, as long as a Pendulum monster, which is like 9% of the deck, but we're going to draw a card. This is perfect, actually. So ideally you want to open this in your first 5 hands, but since we drew into this, it's kind of dead right now because you have a card in scale. But in this case, we have Dissolver. So if you kept track, this is our 4th summon, right? We did Dark Worm, Vector, Electromite, Dissolver. So now we're going to go activate this. We're going to activate Effect of Dissolver, and we hope they don't have a Veiler Impermanence, and then we're going to go ahead and fuse. And this is how we stop Nibiru. So on our 5th summon, we get Vortex Dragon. So this is really nice, because usually they can't even Nibiru until the summon, and when they see this, they can't really stop it. Again, this is we're all simulating this hand in the assumption that we're only playing around Nibiru. We're not playing around Ogre or Valor and Permanence, so just Nibiru. So at this point, we stopped the Nibiru, which is really nice. We're gonna go ahead. Excuse me. We're gonna go ahead and activate the Supreme Gate, and we're gonna go ahead and pen summon 3. So we're gonna do 1, 2, and we're gonna do 3. Now we have a couple options here, right? So we could go the Guardragon combo, and we could make this LP, make this triple burst, and special summon Persona from deck, and then end board we'd have Hieratic Seal, Persona, Vortex, and Mythical Beast Jackal, which is technically 5 negates. But also, since the meta is so like Orcus, like you could just Dweller here and pass, and this would be a decent board to end on. So you could do this. So this is one board, and then if you don't want to do that, like if you know you're not playing against Orcus for some reason, you can go Guardian combo. So just for a proof of concept, I'll just show you why this is a Guardragon Odd Eyes deck. So that we're gonna make LP with the Vector, then we're gonna make triple burst with the Dark Worm and the Electromite. Use effective LP to special Persona from deck, and then we can make these two into a Hieratic Seal. So this is 5 negates, but in lieu of the Persona, the Hieratic Seal, and this will fetch you another Persona, instead of those 3 cards, you could have just ended on Electromite and Dweller, and depending on the matchup, that might have been better. So again, this board isn't as impactful as it was before Agripine got hit, because you'd also end like a Boral Savage, a Hieratic Seal, and like an Abyss, Hot Red Abyss. But this board is still pretty decent, and I think a lot of decks still have a lot of trouble with it. Granted, this field still loses to like Dark Ruler no more, but there's always an answer to everything nowadays, so that's nice. But again, I think the deck is still pretty potent. We'll go for one more test hand, and again, I don't want to take too much of your time, but hopefully that kind of explains how we play around Nibiru. Also, sometimes you can end on one more negate if you don't fear the Nibiru, so you can also do that. But in that particular hand, we kind of had to, because that Mythical Cerberus was kind of dead. So yeah, we're gonna do one more test hand. And please comment down below if you like these videos, or if you'd rather just have deck profiles. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Let's do another quick test hand, and hopefully you can get into a Rescue Rabbit. I just want to show you how that works, why I really like that card. We're going to draw 5. Alright, so we open kind of the brick of the deck, because you don't want to necessarily see this card, but we can still work with this. So what we want to do is we can go ahead and normal. We'll go ahead, activate, effect, pop, special the Gazer from deck. And now what we can do, we're definitely going to Electromite with the Vector and the Gazer. So we got Electromite sending. I'm thinking what we need to send. We probably need to send another. We're gonna send the Dark Worm, because we need to load up on level 4s. And granted, we do not have a high scale right now, which is okay, I guess. The reason is we can use Skyros to get onto it. I just want to see what we draw for Electromite is the main thing. And then if we won't be able to Vortex, but we still should be able to get a pretty decent board. So again, this hand in particular is going to lose to the Nibiru, but and it's unfortunate because we couldn't get Arc before the Pendulum Summon. But anyways, we're going to activate this, affect target, pop to add it back to hand. We need this card in our hand because we're going to pitch this, and we're going to draw a card. So let's draw a card for Electromite. This is kind of important. This is actually the most optimal thing we could draw, so that's actually pretty amazing. First thing, we're going to activate this, So now we can actually play around Nibiru because we drew into this without, and we can use this to now trigger the arc, which is really nice. We're gonna activate this. We're gonna use this effect to pitch this to add the Dark Worm we added back to hand. Unfortunately, we already normal summoned, so it is okay. This helps unbrick hands. I really like this card. I only run it as a one of, and now we can. This is kind of like a Destroyer, so you can revive it as long as you have like darks or 2 dragons, light or dark. We're gonna go ahead and activate this. We're going to use Effective Scars to pop this to search a low scale odd eye, so it has to be Persona. Those are other low scale odd eyes. We're going to use Chain Link 1. We already used this to draw, so we're going to just summon Dissolver from deck if I can find it. Here's Dissolver. So again, I know we went through a lot of shenanigans, but if you pay attention, we basically this is our 4th summon. So we had Gazer, Vector, into Electromite, and then we got this, which is Dissolver. So like my first test hand, like I can fuse into Vortex right now. But that's kind of not because if we could activate this, use effect, and then make Vortex here. But I just want to show you that if for some reason like we're not afraid of Nibiru, we can end on more negates. So we already did that first test hand. Let's just assume there's no hand traps and we're just going we're going ham. So we're gonna activate this. Now we're gonna pen summon 3. So you're gonna go 1, 2, 3. Alright, and again, we're assuming there's no Nibiru. We're just going to play, normally and try to maximize our negates. Alright, so now we pen summon 3. Now we're going to on pen summon, we're going to use effect. We can't forget effect to grab the gate because we have not done that yet. And then we're going to proceed into our Guardragon combo. So Vector will become our LP. That's why I really like Vector. Unfortunately, I didn't get to show you Rescue Rabbit, but Rescue Rabbit can fix broken hands, so that's really nice. I use these 2 for, we also have this in Grave, so we want to be cognizant of that. We're going to use these 2 for, let's go Triple Burst first. And then use LP effect to summon, We're going to summon Persona from deck, and I'll tell you why. It's because we can actually opt to go into level 4 and go into a rank 4. But I just want to show you the maximum ceiling of the deck in the sense that how many negates I can end on, in total. So we have this in graveyard, so keep that in mind. So now we're going to proceed to link these 2 off. Put this in the front because we're going to use this effect to engrave them a bit. We're going to use these to make our Hieratic Seal. Card's nuts. And then we're going to activate the effect of Galactic Spiral Dragon to special summon it because we have at least 2 dragons that are dark or light. So we actually have 3, but we just need 2. So we effect from grave. We don't use effect to make everything level 8. First thing we're going to do is going to activate effect to fuse. We're going to fuse with our scale to get our vortex. Put it right here. Now what you can do is use effect of this to make everything level 8. And then overlay these 2 into Galactic Harbinger. Again, these 2 cards were in my last deck profile, and I'm going to send you the link in the comment section below, in the description box below, sorry. But I really like these 2 cards because I opened this, and it wasn't a brick for me, which was really nice. And even if I opened Lancer, I could have still pitched off of the Phantasma Dragon, which is in my extra deck. But I just like this card because even if you can't do anything, you can special them from a hand using its own effect, so that's really nice. So now this is our end board. And again, if we played under Nibiru, we'd probably not have this card. But we're just assuming we're not playing under Nibiru. And this is a really decent board, right? We have an Omni Negate, we have a Spell Negate, Extra Deck Negate, a Bounce, which will float into another copy of this. There is one in our extra deck, but there's one more in our main deck, so we can do that. We can keep this in our hand or activate it. It doesn't really matter. But and they can't target our scale, which is really nice. These three is also not bad. This is a pretty decent board. Again, it's not as high ceiling as the deck prior to Aggro getting banned, but I understand why Aggro did get banned, and it's kind of insane. But you can still Guardragon combo, and it's still really nice how it works. This is all I used to run Destrudo, and this is kind of like the new Destrudo, which is really nice. You don't have to pay your half. And what's really cool about this is obviously it's a spell negate, but like a lot of people, what they try to do is they try to crash into your Hermetic Seal to bait out the effect. But with this card on board, they have to crash into this because you can just detach this, redirect, attack, and then unless it's Pankratops, that's the only card that has a problem that you can ram with this. But like if it's any other monster trying to bait out, then you can protect with this. So that's really nice. So alright guys, I think that I took more than enough of your time. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you did. Please like the video if you like to see more of these videos. Please subscribe to the channel. It really helps a fellow Yu-Gi-Oh player out. And without any other opinions or comments, have a nice day.